digital art has emerged as a force to reckon with in the world of visual art, simply because just like the human hand can create things a computer can't, a computer too can create things the human hand can't. Machinery that Mumbi Wambui has been utilizing to create spectacular artworks. Well, here she goes. Technology is an inexorable force that has for decades now been penetrating different fields, providing improvement and advancement. The world of art too has not been left out, as we learned from Mumbi Wambui, a digital artist who is using tech as the medium.
My name is Wambui Mumbi, that's my artist name. My normal regular name is Hilda Mumbi, but Wambui Mumbi is my artist name. I have 3 main titles that if somebody asks me, I have those 3. I am an animator, a 2D animator. I am a designer. I help companies build identity systems. So that's like the logos and the colors and the fonts and everything. But apart from that, I think my biggest love so far has been Wambui Mumbi. That's my artist name. Yeah. So I have the professional design part that is geared towards the clients, and I have my artist side, Wambui Mumbi, which is geared more towards me expressing my feelings and my thoughts to the world. I think 2D animation will best be described. I don't know if you watched Cartoon Network, like Ed and Eddie. There was Chowder. So that's what I do. But then I do it mostly for like corporates, but I also do it for entertainment also. So you can call me a mini Cartoon Network person.
At first glance, one will be inclined to think that behind these masterpieces is an artist with a lot of years of experience. Surprisingly, the decision to dive into art was conceived not so long ago by an artist who was responding to the call of passion.
I started doing art last year, 2020, at around May. I remember back then, because a long time ago, well, last year and even earlier this year, I used to do academic writing, but that was not my passion at all. And so I wanted to do design full-time, and I also thought, I can also do art full-time also. So I remember I just began to express myself and just did like random drawings, and then people had such a positive feedback, and I just thought, why can't I build an artist name around this, since I already have the skill set and I already have the passion. This could also be another side of me that I can explore. My end goal in art is majorly what I try to do. I try to use my art to voice out the values that I believe in, and sometimes it's just to simply express myself, but a lot of times it's to express the values that I think should be called out. And I think art is a very powerful tool, because it attracts people's attention. So instead of just writing it out, I use art to express the message that I want to put out to the world. I even did a piece for that called Uoga, because for me, I remember back when I was doing academic writing, I did it because that was something that I was familiar with, and I was scared to start art because I began to interact with artists back in 2015, but I didn't start until 5 years later in 2020. And then when I started, everything it was so mind-blowing. You can never know the potential and power that something has until you start. And I know there's a lot of fear. Like me, I was afraid. What if people will hate my work? What if it won't look as good as I want it to? I know there's that fear, but as in just start, man. Like even though you're not sure of where you're going, like me, I wasn't sure. Just start and try out and keep on doing it, and I'm sure at the beginning you'll start getting some response from people, and then just build up on that and perfect it. And in a few months you're gonna be able to start like getting like a leeway. You'll see the road being clear, but until you take that first step of of doing what you're passionate about, you'll never know how beautiful that journey is. This one is called the African Pride series. I love it so much because it was also my very first series. It was what got me into the art world. So this one, for example, this piece is called Brown Skin Girl, and this African Pride is a series that is based on the values that our forefathers had a long time ago. This in particular, Brown Skin Girl, just shows you know how our mothers, and especially a long time ago, they used to be like the rock and the cornerstone of the family, and they will serve the husband, and they would also protect the children. So, and they were very fierce for the people who came at their family, because they were willing to protect their family and also guide their children and bring them up in the right way. And this is what this artwork means. Even though she's posed, she looks like a very proud African mom.
The process of creating such entrancing art is very meticulous and well thought in order to keep the inspiration, the tools, and the end goal in line to get the desired piece.
One of my signature moves, I would say, is the fact that all my artworks always have a meaning behind them. Like my recent series was based on the 7 deadly sins. It's called Vices. This one was African Pride. This one was the sports, the most loved sports in Kenya. So first of all, I think of an idea. I don't want my artwork just to be an artwork, just to be a picture. I also want people to also get the value out of my artwork. So it begins with me looking for a meaning, or what do I want to tell the world. And then it then goes to, okay, now I have the idea, now let me go research. So I use Pinterest a lot, I use Instagram a lot. I gather multiple ideas. I see which color palette I want and what body augmentation I want. Then that's followed by then bringing everything together and borrowing this and that from each artwork, and then eventually making it mine. So it's a mix of visual inspirations, but also it's also geared towards having a meaning also for me, and then bringing it all together and then it being a piece of art.
Sarah had been trying to write a book for ages, but she was still on page 1 until she discovered speakyourownbook.com.
Yeah, I am primarily a digital artist, though I have also tried traditional watercolors and acrylics, but 80% of my artwork is digital art. So now with digital art, once I have the ideas, I use Pinterest a lot, I use Behance a lot, and I use Instagram a lot. So from there, I'm looking for who has something that I could borrow from them, like who has the aesthetic that I'm looking for in my artwork. So then once I have gathered several, I could either like make a sketch of the artwork based on the several inspirations, or I could just go to the computer, then I put maybe the pictures against each other. Then also I begin now to draw my own artwork and borrow in, like if I like the color used in this particular picture, I will pick the color from them. If I like the body augmentation used in this, I will borrow from that. And then from there, it's just a matter of like guessing, and then it's like a magic that just happens on the inside that tells you like this piece is complete. Yeah, so once I get that feeling, then I stop there, and then I'm like, okay, this is done. Yeah. I use Adobe Illustrator, and I love Adobe the software because I can blow up the artworks to any size, even like a billboard, and it will still maintain the quality. So I find that being very convenient for me and for the client, because if a client comes and tells me I want this piece of artwork and I want it in a big proportion, I'm not gonna start telling them like it's gonna pixelate, it's not gonna be the best quality. That's why I love the software.
It would be only natural to surmise that since the art is made using technology, then tech also plays a role in aiding with marketing. An equivocal statement the artist confirmed.
Instagram is like my number one. I'm sure it's a lot. It's used by many people, but for me it's my number one thing. But let me start. If I produce an artwork today, I usually have like channels. I first begin with WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is just like testing it out among my contacts and seeing like their response. And so once I have it out there for like a day, then I can channel it not to Instagram, maybe the following day or a couple of days later, because now it needs to be more formal and more official. So WhatsApp gives me the space of knowing what do I want to change. Maybe the wordings, I want to change them a bit. So then to Instagram, and then to Facebook, and then to also sometimes I use LinkedIn. Twitter I use it sometimes, though not that much. So I would say social media is my like biggest way of getting to clients. But also another way of marketing my work is also going for like pop-ups, exhibitions. Like I have been to Sarit like so many times, where I go with a couple of my prints, a couple of my printouts. You know, I also have a studio. Well, not me. I am part of a studio in Karen Village. It's called The Hub. So you'll also get a couple of my artworks, especially my traditional artworks there. I also exhibit with galleries. Right now I have an exhibition at Noir Gallery along with other couple of artists. We are having the show for 3 months. So yeah, it's just a mix up of things. So there's the social media, and there's also a way of physically getting the work to the clients through the galleries and the pop-ups show.
Just like any other digital artist, challenges are bound to emerge on the way. Hers are as follows.
The most frequent challenge, it's the ideas, you know, like, because I say each of my artwork has a meaning behind it, which is my selling point. No, that's hard. Because sometimes you can stay like for a while, you know you can draw, but then you know you don't know what attachment or meaning this is going to have behind. So coming up with the idea, that's definitely a challenge. I think the other challenge for me is also balancing between art and design, because I'm so passionate about both of them, you know. And sometimes design takes a whole chunk, and then the art side is, you know, left like mabakisha for the time. So that's also just balancing between my professional and passionate side, but I'm passionate about both of them. I really can't say hatred is my main comments, because by the time I got into art, I already had a mentor who encourages me to just own my art and be confident, and that's what I also encourage people to also do. Like, it doesn't matter what style of art you are doing, as long as you own it and you stick by it and you're confident, like, people will buy into it, and those who won't buy, that's their problem.
The ultimate plan is to transform these pictures into motion pictures and to make the art her trademark.
For now, for my art side, I haven't yet included the motion, though next year I want to include the motion, because that's also a skill set that I have, and I also want to start bringing my characters to life. For 2D animation right now, it's mostly geared towards, again, the clients, like now the other side that I told you. So I deal with corporates. They like give me briefs, and then I just bring out whatever they're envisioning. Me, I want my art to be a brand, man. You know, I want not only to sell the you know, like, these pieces and the framed artworks. I want you to interact with my artwork in any way. You know, we can have jackets from Wambui Mumbi series. We can have socks from Wambui Mumbi. We can have like furniture, just anything. So what I'm looking towards, especially from next year, is now knowing how to implement that Wambui Mumbi, because I know people like my artwork, but I know a lot of them would also want my artworks to take various forms, so that I can, you know, if somebody doesn't want a framed artwork, I would want them to interact with a pen or maybe a water bottle for Wambui Mumbi. So I just want to make a brand out of it. So guys, you can reach me at Hilda Mumbi. It's HLDAMUMBI. That's my Instagram handle. You'll get everything over there. I also have another handle called Wambui Mumbi. It's Wambui_Mumbi. You'll find a couple of my traditional artworks there. I also have an exhibition running. It's at Noir Gallery. It's under, yes, so the art show is called Yellow Art Series. I'm there with also other amazing 18 artists. You can go check it out.